So this second time around, I knew I was going into the game with a huge target. I knew from the day I won my season in Cagayan, I knew from that day on, every Survivor fan that wanted to play this game, I know every player, former player that wanted to play again, would all come out and saying, if Tony's on, we got to get rid of him first. I showed that I wasn't going to be a loyal player. I showed I wasn't going to be an honorable player. I showed I wasn't going to be honest. I showed I was going to betray and do whatever it takes to win. And when people seen how devious I played the game in order to win the game, they knew that I was a serious threat, and I knew going into the game that I would be public enemy number one for these people, and I knew they were going to target me right away. But all I asked for was a shot. I got my shot. I failed. I don't think it had to do anything with the game I played this time. I think it had everything to do with the game I played my first time. This time I came out, I was being humorous. I was playing around with the guys. I gave them the space. Of course, I'm going to do my crazy little tactics with my spy bunkers and spying on them and running looking for idols. But everybody was looking for idols, so it was to try to hide that would be I would be insulting their intelligence. So I told them, yeah, I'm looking for the idol just like you guys are. So I try to be straightforward with them. And they're returning players. They know my game. I can't hide. There was nowhere to hide. I can't hide behind my lies. I couldn't hide behind my truth. So I was vulnerable. The only thing I regret is at Tribal Council when Jeff was probing and asking questions, Troyzan slipped and he says, well, tonight, Jeff, when we get back to camp, it's going to be a lot less paranoia. At that time, I said, the only one that they think is paranoid is me because I'm always on my toes. So at that point, it was just, I just needed another 1 or 2 questions more for me just to bluff and say I have an idol and just turn everything around. And that's the only thing I regret. I think I could have turned everything around that Tribal Council and I would have still been in the game probably. I'm not proud of the way I played. I'm proud that I came back to play knowing the huge target I was going to have on my back, knowing that I don't know any of these people. I don't know who's in bed with each other outside the game. I didn't know any of that. So I'm proud that I had the guts to come back and give it another shot, knowing that what happened might happen. So I'm proud of that, but I'm not proud of myself in Tribal Council. Like I said, I had an opportunity to flip it on its head, and I just dropped the ball at Tribal Council. I should have bluffed an idol. When Troyzan said that, I knew it was me. When I went in there, it might have been 70-30 that I might be going home. But when Troyzan said the paranoia is going to be done at camp tonight, I knew it was me. And at that moment, I should have said, Jeff, you know what? These guys all know I have an idol. They've been watching me looking for an idol, so they know I have an idol. So they're splitting the votes, and I would have just caused havoc there. And I'm pretty sure I would have skated out of there if I had bluffed, and I didn't. I dropped the ball. The best moments I had was as soon as I got into camp, I just said, let me mess with these people a little bit, just to play around. I started running around, screaming like a llama, looking for idols. I prepared a spy bunker for myself because I knew Jeff Varner kept talking about spy shacks, Tony and his spy shack. So I know they were looking all over for spy shacks. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take it underground this time. So I dug myself a little ditch, which was awesome. It would have worked perfectly. So I had good moments, not the best of Tony Vlachos, but there were some good moments I had. So as a returning player, I mean, everybody knows what you're made of. Everybody knows what you're capable of. Everybody knows your tactics. Everybody knows your strategies. Everybody knows how honest you are, how deceptive you are. And it's tough to come back into a game and not expect... The game changers that we are here, there's no way you're going to let somebody like myself con you. Like, wow, Tony conned everybody on his season. There's no way he's doing that to us. And they look for that. So no matter what I told them, whether it was true or not, they wouldn't believe me. So it was extremely difficult for me to get my footing in the game with this caliber of players. It's like back home when you arrest somebody the first time, they don't know the system, they're petrified. They're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen to me? But once you walk them through the system and they become veterans of it, then it's so easy for them to get arrested and continue to get arrested. And that's how you become a career criminal. You go through the system, and if it's not as harsh as you imagine it to be, then they give it another shot. It's risk versus reward. All right, I'm gonna take a risk to rob somebody. If I get away with it, I go and I score something, I buy something. If I don't, I go to jail for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, I'm back out. That's how this game is. They know the system, they know how it works, they know what to look for. They just know how it works. So it might sound like it's a bit easier the second time around, but it's so much harder the second time around because everybody knows your game and everybody knows what they're looking for.